All right, so let's get started with our warm up. Go ahead and come to the front of your chairs. Let's bring our posture up tall. So when I think about tall posture, I'm bringing my chest forward, my shoulders come down and back, and I add a little bit of a chin tuck. So keeping our posture tall, let's do a couple overhead reaches, coordinating our breath. So as you breathe in, raise your arms up. And exhale, arms come down. Do that 5 more times. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, arms down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. Good, we're gonna move into some punches. So let's start with a punch across your body. So punching across, 1, we'll do 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. So now we're going to do a pattern with it where I want to do 2 punches overhead, 1, 2, and then forward, 1, 2. So we'll cycle through that 10 times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. This is our third. I'm going to count our last one as the number so I don't lose track. This is 4, 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 2, 1, 6, 1, 2, 1, 7, 1, 2, 1, 8, 1, 2, 1, 9, last one, 2, 1, 10. All right. So now we're gonna do a little bit more coordination with that too. We'll start with just some foot taps. Let me bring my camera down so you can see where I'm gonna tap my foot. But I'm gonna tap my heel forward on each leg, like I'm stepping forward, and then to the side on each leg. So we'll tap each heel forward, forward, and now side, side. All right, let's do 10 rounds with that pattern, and then we'll add some punches with it. So 1, 2, 1. Again, I'm going to count the numbers so I don't lose track. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 2, 1, 6, 1, 2, 1, 7, 1, 2, 1, 8, 1, 2, 1, 9, last one, 1, 2, 1, 10. So now with our forward taps, I want to do a coordinated punch with that same arm. And then for the sideways taps, I want to do that overhead punch. So we're doing the same pattern forward on each foot and then to the side, but we're adding that punch. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Got it? So let's do 10 reps of that, combining those two together now. 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 3. 1, 2, 1, 4. 1, 2, 1, 5. 1, 2, 1, 6. 1, 2, 1, 7. 1, 2, 1, 8. 1, 2, 1, 9. Last time. 1, 2, 1, 10. Nice job. We're going to be using pieces of those coordination later, so getting a good practice with them. So let's move into a seated heel raise. So going up and down on your toes. We'll do this sitting 15 times. 1, going up on my toes, lifting my heels. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So now we're going to do 10 sit to stands and then stay standing on the last one. So for our sit to stands, make sure you're really reaching far enough forward to bring that momentum forward. I may need to adjust my camera a little bit. So let's do 10 of these all together. And then on the 10th one, stay standing. So reach forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Stay standing. You can hold on to the back of your chair if you want to. And we're going to do 15 heel raises and standing now. I'll give everyone a second to get there. We'll do 15 times. Going up and down on your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, come back to your chair. One more exercise. Last warm-up exercise. Let's do a march, raising your opposite arm and leg together 20 times. Like most people are back sitting. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, good work. We are going to get set up for our circuits. You can just keep an eye on the camera so that you can, or on the screen so that you can watch. You don't have to join me yet. The first exercise is going to be a side lunge. And this is where that ball, or if you have a pair of socks, something that you can toss from one hand to another with this exercise. So the first exercise is going to be a lunge to the side. So I'm going to step and lunge. When I do my side lunge, the side I'm leaning towards, this knee bends, kind of like I'm sticking my hips back, and my opposite leg stays straight. So while I'm holding this lunge, I want you to toss your ball, your pair of socks one time back and forth, and then step together. So you'll step and lunge, toss, toss, step back together. And when you're doing this exercise, you can alternate or you can stick to the same side. If you want more support, you can lunge while holding on to something, and you can do it without the toss. So lunge and hold instead of adding the toss. Second exercise, I am going to use the side of the treatment table here. This is where you would use like the side of your couch or your chair or a kitchen counter. So I want to do 2 marches, and then I'm either going to jump or step back into a plank, do 2 marches, and then jump or step back into standing so that I can return to the 2 marches, step back or jump back, 2 marches, step forward or jump forward. And that's the pattern you'll repeat. That's the second exercise. The third one we're going to do is a squat into a power up. So I'm going to do a squat and reach my arms out in front of me, and then I'll power up. Arms come wide, fingertips come wide. You can make this more challenging by adding your hand weights and holding your weights out in front of you as you do this one. That's our third one. And then the fourth exercise we're going to do, I am going to grab my weights for, and this is going to be a backwards walk with a bicep curl. So every step that I take, I'm going to do a bicep curl as I step backwards. All right. And so that fourth exercise is targeting controlled stepping. So I want you to take your time with the curl. I don't want you to be powering through bicep curls and taking fast steps. So it's the intention of it is to really be mindful about how you're stepping, taking a big and controlled step backwards to help us prevent that festination, how we want to take quick steps backward. So those are our 4 exercises for our first interval. 1 minute on, 30 seconds off. We'll do it 2 rounds through. I'm going to get my timer set up. We are starting with that side lunge with that ball toss or with a pair of socks toss. Remember, you can do this holding on to something too if you want a little bit of support with your lunge. Everyone ready? I will turn up the volume on my phone so that you can hopefully hear the bell ding as well. And you can stick to the same side or switch legs. Either way is fine. You guys ready? Let's get started. So side lunge, I'm going to toss to both sides and then step all the way back in. Lunge, toss, toss, step together. Lunge, 1, 2. Nice job. Make sure when you're doing that lunge, when you step back in, bring your feet all the way back together. If you find that you have to take a couple steps to return, like 1, 2, you're probably stepping too far. Feet all the way back together when you step in. Good work, everybody. Lunge, toss, toss. Five seconds to go. All right, 30-second rest. We are switching to our 2 marches and then either our jump back into a plank position or a step back. So make sure you have like the back of your couch to hold on to. You can even do it at a wall, something that's sturdy that you can hold on to, but 10 seconds to get ready. All right, let's begin. So 2 marches and either jump or step back into a plank. 2 marches here, jump or step in. And we'll repeat that. March, 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 march. 20 seconds to go. All right, 30 seconds to rest. Next, we're doing our squat to a power up. You can do this with or without weights. If you are staying seated, you can do your seated power up with us instead of standing. 5 seconds to get ready. And let's begin. So squat to power up. Really big extension through your spine, arms wide, chest forward. Good work, everybody. About halfway done. Five seconds. All right, and catch your breath. 30 seconds to rest. Our next exercise is a backward step with a coordinated bicep curl. Remember, the purpose of this is to take a controlled big step. So stepping slow, taking a large step backwards, but still one that you can control. About 5 seconds to get ready. And I may go back and forth this way. I think I'll have more space. So step and coordinate that bicep curl with each step backwards. And if you have more space than me, you don't have to go back and forth as many times as I'm going to. And I'm just going this way. You don't have to turn sideways to the camera. However you have space, one controlled step with each bicep curl. The purpose is not speed. How big of a step can you take while still being in control? One step per curl. All right, 30 seconds to rest. We're going to repeat those one more time. We're going back to our side lunge. So if you weren't alternating on the first round, alternate what leg you're lunging to. You can also lunge with something in front of you so that you're holding on the whole time. About 10 seconds to get started. All right, let's begin. So side lunge, toss from hand to hand, and then step all the way back together. Lunge and hold, toss, toss, step together. Lunge and hold. And I'm doing my side lunge with this. About 20 seconds left. All right, rest. We're moving on to that march. One march on each side, stepping back or jumping back into a plank and doing 2 marches in that modified plank position. Holding on to the back of your chair. You could even do it at a wall. Something that's sturdy. 10 seconds. And let's begin. So march, march, jump or step back. 2 marches. And then jump or step back into standing. March, march, jump or step back. March, march. Come forward and repeat. All right, take a break. 30 seconds to rest. We are moving into our power up with a squat. You can do this with or without weights. 10 seconds to catch your breath and get ready. Alrighty, let's begin. To squat, to power up, wide chest, wide posture. As a squat, I'm sitting my hips back while keeping my chest high so that I'm not bending forward, but still keeping my chest up. Good work, everybody. Halfway done. All right, and take a break. One more exercise, and then we'll take a water break. This last one is our backward stepping with a coordinated bicep curl. And I want you really to focus on taking a big step as you do that curl. Coordinate each step with your curl. Couple seconds. All right, begin. I'm going to go sideways so that you can still see me going backwards. But you do not have to go sideways, and you have more distance. You don't have to turn as much as I am. Focusing on a big step with each bicep curl. Halfway done. Twenty seconds to go. All right, take a break. Grab some water. Nice job, everybody. So our next circuit, we are going to be using our mats more. So I'm going to get my mat set up. And you do not have to join me, but I'm gonna start to demo them as we're taking a water break. So give everyone 1 minute to relax for a second before I start the demo. You don't have to join, just watch the camera. I'll go through the first few exercises for our next circuit. The first one is going to be a bear crawl, forward and backwards. So for a bear crawl, you're in the all four position, except your knees are off the ground. And so holding your knees off the ground, going back, walking backwards, and then walking forward. And try to do the opposite arm and leg crawling together. If that is too challenging, you can keep your knees down, but it makes it a little bit more of a challenge to do it in the bear crawl position where your knees are just an inch off the ground. So that's the first exercise. The second one that we're going to do, I'm going to use my weights for. And this is going to be a kneeling to tall kneeling position. So I'm going to start by sitting back on my heels. If this gives you pain, you can try putting a pillow behind your knees so that the distance that you're kneeling is less, so that I'm sitting back on the pillow. I don't have to bend my knees as far. So I'm going to start in this kneeling position with my hands out in front of me. I'm going to come up into a tall kneel with an overhead press, and then sit back onto my heels, come back into kneeling. Yep. So we'll come up into kneeling, overhead press, and back into the kneeling sit. So that's our second exercise. So the next one we're going to do is a bird dog with a variation to it. So the bird dog traditional exercise is where you raise your opposite arm and leg at the same time. We've done versions of this together. So I have my right arm out in front and my left leg behind. And as I'm holding that, I want you to try to reach your arm and leg out to the side and then back, forward or behind before you switch. So I'm reaching my opposite arm and leg, and then I'm bringing my arm and leg out to the side and then back forward and in. So the idea is that you have to balance while your arm is moving from in front of you to the side, or your leg at the same time. Just the arm would be easier, but you can try adding the leg to move the leg out to the side as well. And then our fourth exercise is a side plank lift. So for this, I'm going to be on my side and I'm propped up on my elbow. And I'm going to keep my knees bent for this. And I'm going to do a side plank. So my knees are on the ground and I'm lifting up so that my hip is off the ground. So for the exercise, I may try to do a 5 to 10 second hold, or you could just do a lift up and back down. Or maybe you want to try to lift and hold it for several seconds during that interval. We'll do one side facing one way, and then the second round will face the other direction, okay? So those are your 4 exercises. Go ahead and make your way down to the ground if you haven't yet. If you are staying seated for our first exercise when we're doing that bear crawl, you can do your opposite arm and leg march, because we're also going to be doing opposite arm and leg coordination as we do the crawl. So same interval setup, 1 minute on, 30 seconds off. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm coming up into my bear crawl, or bear, and then I'm starting my crawl backwards. And then forward, trying to move my opposite arm and leg together. Good job, halfway done. Good work, everybody. Anytime if you need to set your knees down and take a break, feel free. This is hard. 10 seconds to go, almost done. All right, 30 seconds to catch your breath. Nice job. We're gonna get set up for our kneeling. To tall kneel with overhead press. So if you have pain sitting back on your heels, put a pillow underneath your bottom. That'll take some pressure off your knees. 5 seconds to get ready. And begin. So coming up into tall kneel, overhead press, and sit down. Up, press, and back. Nice job. If this is painful on your shoulders, only go where you can tolerate. You don't have to do it if it hurts. You can just do it with body weight too and drop the weights if the weights make it uncomfortable. 20 seconds to go. All right, take a break. Good job, everybody. 30 seconds to rest. We're gonna get set up for the bird dog next. And with the bird dog, you can make it as challenging as you want to. You can just do the opposite arm and leg raise, or you can try to hold that position and do the arm reach. Couple seconds to get ready. And begin. So I'm gonna reach my opposite arm and leg, and then I'm reaching my arm out to the side, bring it back, and then switch legs and arms. Reach, bring your arm and leg out towards the side, back to the middle, and down. Reach. So it's all about controlling that position, holding your balance while your arm and leg move out of that midline position. Fifteen seconds to go. All right, and rest. We're gonna get set up for a side plank next. If you're seated in your chair, I want you to do a leg raise out and in. This is your exercise while we do our side plank. So 10 seconds to get set up. I'm propped up on my elbow, and I'm gonna use my elbow and knees as my hinge point. All right, that's 1 minute. So I'm gonna try to pop up and hold this position. I'm gonna shoot for like 10-second intervals, or you can keep going. You wanna make one long line from your shoulders to your knees. My hips are off the ground. At any time, if you need to set your hips down and take a break, and then pop back up when you're ready. You want your feet bent behind you so you can see I have a flat surface from my knees up to my body. Yep, so my knees are bent behind me. Only 25 seconds left on the clock. Take a break whenever you need to, and then come back up. Everyone's doing great. 10 seconds to go. All right, and rest. Good job, everybody. We are going back to the top of the round with the intervals. One more round through each of those. We're gonna get set up for the bear crawl next. You guys are doing a great job. So get set up, you have 10 seconds. You can do a regular crawl or lift your knees to get into that bear position. And let's begin. Trying to move your opposite arm and legs together. If you're seated in the chair, remember you're doing your opposite arm and leg march like this. We have about 40 seconds left. Good job, everybody. 15 seconds to go. And rest. Good job. We're going to get set up for our kneeling overhead press. If you're seated in your chair, you can just do the regular overhead press from the sitting position. With or without your weights, you got options. 5 seconds to get ready. And begin. So come up into tall kneeling, overhead press, and sit back on your heels. Nice job. Everyone has great posture while you're doing this. Halfway done. Ten seconds to go. All right, take a break. Our last exercise of our intervals is going to be our side plank. So again, if you're seated in your chair, I want you to do a leg raise out to the side, a leg kick out to the side. And if you're in the side plank position, get yourself set up so that your feet are behind you and you have a one straight line from your knees to your shoulder. And let's begin. You can pop up into that side plank and hold it for 10 seconds, as long as you can, and then take a break and sit your hips down when you need to. But we're going to do holds throughout this whole minute. Posture looks great. You guys are doing well. You are halfway done. Take breaks as you need to. You can sit your hips down. And when you're ready, lift back up. 20 seconds to go. Good job, everybody. Last 10 seconds. Keep working hard. All right. Good work. That's our last minute of the interval. Go ahead and grab some water and we'll get set up for our power moves. So we're going to meet back on the ground for our power moves, but stand up if you need a break. Grab some water if you need to. We're doing our power moves laying on our backs today, our supine power moves. You can do all of these also sitting in your chair. But I'll give everyone another minute and then we'll make our way back to our mats. A lot of people stayed put and didn't move. I'm right there with you. So for those of you who are seated, I will remind you of our power up in this position. For the power up, it's all about posture against gravity. So we're leaning forward and then really accentuating, straightening your back, pushing your chest up, arms wide, fingers wide. If you're seated in your chair, that's what the power up looks like. But if you're laying on your back, you're going to push down through your hands and push down through your feet to lift your hips and chest up off the ground. So I'm using all my posture muscles to push myself up in that position and make those posture muscles stronger. So let's get set up to do 10 of these together. Let's count up by 5s as we do the power-ups today. Looks like most people are almost ready. Okay, I think we're looking good. Let's get started. This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. All right. So our next power move is our power rock. This is targeting weight shifting or being able to lean a little bit further than maybe feels natural. So for the weight shift, I'm going to push down through one arm and one leg to reach. And you can see that I'm kind of getting leverage from my right side to help me reach further to the side, like I'm reaching for something on my nightstand. And then I'll reset back in the middle and reach to the other side. As a reminder, if you're sitting in your chair, your power rock looks like reaching up and across. We've done this one today. Reaching up and across, resetting back in the middle, and then reaching up and across to the other side. This is the chair position. You don't have to do this one if you're on the ground, but that's just reminding those of us who are sitting what that move looks like. Alrighty. So let's do 10 of these on each side. And let's count up by 3s as we go through. We'll always reset back in the middle. Ready? So this is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 48, 51, 54, 57, and 60. Awesome. So our next move is the power twist. So you start with arms straight out to the side. And you're going to bring one arm across to twist and clap. Open back in the middle. and bring the other arm across to twist and clap. Same position if you're sitting. You start with arms wide and bring one arm across to twist on the other side. Make sure in either position, we're resetting in the middle here to kind of stop our movement, so that you have to do another initiation of movement to twist to the other side. All right. So let's count by tens for this one backwards from 100. So one big twist across, 100, open, 90, open, 80, open, 70, open, 60, open, 50, open, 40, open, 30, open, 20, open, and 10, open. All right, bend your knees up for the next one. Our last one is the power step. So we're going to do a power step with a scoot movement as we do this. So for the power step, I'm going to bring both of my feet out to my left. And now I'm going to scoot my hips to the left, like I'm scooting over in bed. And then I'm going to bring both of my feet back in and scoot back to the middle. If you're seated in your chair, I want you to practice the exaggerated step out to the side and the exaggerated step back in, lifting your leg high and putting your foot down. So let's do 10 of these in total. So let's go starting to your left, bring both feet out to your left and scoot left. And now bring both feet back to the middle and scoot back into the middle. That's one. So now we'll go to your right. Step both feet out to the right and scoot right. Both feet to the middle. That's two. Both feet left. Scoot left. Both feet back in and scoot back to the middle. That's three. Both feet to the right and scoot and back to the middle. Four. Left. Scoot. Middle. Five. Right. Scoot. Middle. Six. Left. Scoot. Middle. Seven. Right. Scoot. Middle. Eight. Left. Scoot. Middle. Nine. Right. Scoot. Middle. 10. All right, good work, everybody. Let's make your way back up to your chair. We'll do some of our cool down stretching. All right. So while people are making their way, I'm just going to start with a couple overhead reaches. Reaching up and overhead. And I'm going to add a forward fold with this, where I'm bending my chest down and clasping my hands behind my knees. Let's do that a few more times. So reaching up and overhead, and then forward fold, chin to chest. Clasp your hands below your knees. Reach up and overhead. Clasp your hands behind your knees. One more time. Reach up and forward fold. Good, let's do a couple leg stretches. So straighten one knee out in front of you. Keep that knee straight as you bend forward. We'll hold it here for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now bring that leg up and across your left, and then lean forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring one arm across your body and pull it close towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Reach to the back of your chair. You can brace with your opposite hands. Trying to stretch through your spine. Let's hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring your ear to your shoulder. Tuck one arm behind you. And the side that you're bending towards, that arm will give it a gentle stretch. And hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're going to wrap up there today. Thanks for joining me, and everyone have a wonderful week.